Hi, welcome to Prevesti demonstration video. So in this video, I'll walk you through the 4 features that Prevesti provides for all international travelers or language learners. So let's first learn about the image translation feature. So what it does is that it's going to extract any text that in the image in which the user uploads, and then it's going to perform the translation on that particular text. So let's test this out by inputting an example here. So the image contains text in English, so I'm going to select English. I want to translate this text into Chinese. And then there are 2 separate translation methods. The first one is translate by word. The second one is translate by line. So the difference between the two is that when you translate by word, the whole sentence or the whole text itself is going to be translated independently from each other, right? Word by word. It's going to be translated by word by word. However, when you translate by line, right, what it does is that it's going to take all the words on that particular line and then perform the translation together. So let's say if you want to translate a particular essay, a picture of an essay or a picture of a paragraph, it is more likely and more advisable for you to use translation by line, just because the translation, the output of translation is probably going to be a lot more meaningful because the words would not be independently translated from each other. But let's test this feature out one by one. Let's first try to see what does translation by word do. Click Submit and Translate. So as you can see, the output picture includes the translation word by word itself. So what it does is it's going to output the translation onto the image so the users will see what each of those words correspond to the translation. So let's say if a user would like to test their pronunciation on that particular word, right? So let's click Pronounce and Learn. So we are now, sort of introduced to this page where the pronunciation are located. So you can see that there are pronunciation audio provided for target language. There's also pronunciation audio provided for source language, right? So let's hear this out real quick.
Difficult. 难的道路 roads 经常 often.
So let's say I want to test my pronunciation on a particular word, right? Let's try beautiful here. Right, when I select this, you will see this text being highlighted. Press to speak. Beautiful. Beautiful. So as you can see, it outputs gives you a little summary report of your pronunciation. So my pronunciation was perfect, so it's going to give me a native and bilingual proficiency level. It's 100%, right? Because I pronounced it 100%. Also, it's also going to give you the meaning or the definition of the word. It is an adjective. It means delighting the sense or exciting intellectual or emotional admiration, right? There's also synonyms for beautiful, alluring, appealing. There's also antonyms, which is bad-looking, barbaric, barbarous, etc., etc. Right? So that's the summary report for pronunciation. So let's go back and let's try to translate that same image, but by sentence, by line, and let's see what the output result is. So same exact image, English to Chinese, but translation by line. Submit, translate. So as you can see, now the sentence or the whole text is being translated line by line. So to me as a Chinese, when I read this is a lot more meaningful and comprehensive than the translation by word, right? But let's say I want to test my pronunciation on these sentences particularly, or on these or about these lines particularly. So let's pronounce and learn. So these are the pronunciations outputted for that particular lines. So let's hear this.
Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destination.
Right, and then
常有难走的路通往美丽的目的地.
So let's say I want to test my pronunciation on this particular sentence. Difficult roads often. Difficult roads often. Right, it's going to give me the same report. I've spoken perfectly. So it's going to give me a native bilingual proficiency level. It's 100%. Right, and there's no meaning or synonyms or antonyms for a sentence itself. So I'm just going to put not detected. So yes, so let's say another hypothetical scenario. Let's say if a user uploads an image right, that does not contain any text. Let's see what Prevesti will handle that exception here. So let's go back and let's upload an image without any text, right? So let's see this image here. So there's no text on this image. I'm going to translate it from a random language, right? Choose a random method, and let's see what Prevesti does. So as you can see, it's giving you a page where it says no text found on this page. Pretty obvious. So if there's no text on the page, you'll be getting this error message. And also in cases where if the user chooses the wrong source language, in which he wants to translate the text from the image to the target language, he's also going to be directed to this particular page. So let's go back. So that's it about the image translation feature. So now let's go to the text main input feature for this software. So this is a very basic implementation. So this is like every single translation software will have this. So let's translate from from Chinese to English. Click translate, and here's the outputted translation text. You will also get audio for this as well.
Your Chinese is very good.
So let's now try to pronounce this. Your Chinese is very good. Your Chinese. So you will also get a summary report just like the one from the image translation on the words that you have spoken, right? And you can keep practicing it by just pressing to speak again. So let's say if I say, your Chinese is very good. So it's going to perform an analyzation again on that particular sentence and give you a report. So that's it for text translation. So now let's go to the third feature, speech translation. So let's choose a particular language. Let's translate from Chinese to English. 这个软件特别用.
This software has special.
Okay, I didn't finish speaking my sentence, but let's try it again. 这个软件很好用.
This software is very useful.
Okay, so let's try another language. Let's try from Russian to English. очень хорошо.
Very good.
Very good. Very good. Yes. So let's try from Serbian to English. Kakusi.
How are you?
Perfect. Let's try French to English. Parlez-vous français?
Do you speak French?
Very nice. So yeah, so that's about audio translation. So here's another interesting scenario, right? So let's say if a user fails to say anything, or the system failed to detect any audio or any text from the audio. What will Prevesti tell you? So let's try this. So as you can see, the user is being led to the page where it shows that he heard nothing, right? We heard nothing. The Prevesti heard nothing. So that's another interesting exception handling feature that we implemented as part of this software. So now let's go back, and now let's go to live video translation. So unfortunately, this feature doesn't currently work on any mobile Safari or mobile browsers for security issues, but on the computer, it still works fine. So let's say I want to live translate something from English to Chinese. So let's proceed. So here, I have a Starbucks word here. So as you can see, it starts translating. And you can see that the word Starbucks in Chinese is being put it on there. So it is quite unfortunate that the algorithm runs very slow. I will try my best to implement it for future versions. But for minimum text that you would like to translate, or for images or whatever document that is of very, very small amount of text on there, small amount of information, it is able to detect and translate it pretty well. So those are the 4 features. But before I end this video, I would also like to show you the mobile version of Prevesti. So let's go to inspect. So this is what the mobile version looked like for the front page. So let me change it to iPhone XR, right? iPhone SE, right? iPad Air, and Samsung Galaxy S8, for example, right? And then if I go to another image page, right, and switch this into mobile version, right? So this is the mobile version of image translation. This is the mobile version for text input, right? And then we have speech, mobile version for speech, right? And then let's say if you want to go to home page from this without clicking the back button. So all you can do is just click the Prevesti logo here, and then it'll lead you back to the front page. So yeah, so that's it about Prevesti. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you'll find Prevesti useful in your future international travels. Have a great day. Thank you.